If everyone thought the same, what would be the point of thinking? Agreeing with points that you actually don't agree with. And then they'll start again, and it just boom, boom, boom. The conversation keeps going. You heard the conversation. The way I do it is, boom, we are back on the porch. You know who it is. Listen, have you ever find yourself in a situation where you are in a conversation and you keep agreeing with points that you actually don't agree with? The thing about this, when you agree with points in small conversation and you're not speaking your mind about you actually disagree with these points, is that you actually hurt the conversation. If you just say no to the stuff instead, and I'm not saying that you should go and be like no, keep it civil, keep it cool, but the way when you do this, you actually create much better conversation. It's so fun with these ideas when you can go back and forth and people can disagree and we can keep it civil like that. That's what's so fun. If everyone thought the same, what would be the point of thinking? If everyone thought the same, what would be the point of thinking? So having your ideas challenged, to anyone who's a mature person, is fun. It's fun, to explore ideas together. Some of the people you talk with, you can become super close with them, and you don't even have to agree on a lot of points. You can just the way you're flowing the conversations, it creates that bond between you. And the way to go about it when you want to speak your mind and disagree with one is, the way I do it is, in the conversation, let's say someone says that mangoes are blue, right? Whatever, right? So he says mangoes are blue, and I'll go like, instead of I could just say yeah, right? But they're not. I disagree, right? So I'll say something like, "You really think so?" And he's like, "Yeah." I don't know if I agree, man. And he's like, "Really? You see that?" He goes like, "Really? You don't agree?" Right? It also serves a purpose. You see that? If he actually wants to hear, if he's actually engaged in conversation, it makes him go like, "Really? Okay," and then listens to you. Okay, what's your point then? Right? So you keep the conversation interesting. You kind of like refocusing, the bim bim bim, the tension, bim bim bim, So it's good. He asks you, he wants to know more. So he goes like, "Really? You don't think so?" And then you can just state the point. Yeah, I think I think they're green. Most of the time when I've seen mangoes, they're green, right? And so, wow, okay, interesting. I've only seen blue mangoes. And then you go back and forth about these ideas. And that's what makes it fun, right? But if I just said, he said mangoes are blue, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, also, when you do this, if I just said, yeah, to his point, after a while of that, he will notice that you're being disingenuous with your responses. And it will absolutely kill the connection, the conversation, in a way. So if he says, yeah, mangoes are blue and strawberries are blue, and I was like, yeah, he just notices that my what the fuck am I thinking about, right? And I know this is true. If people talk to me and you can just sense that they're disinterested and they don't really give a shit, right? You can sense it when people keep agreeing with your points, and all the time, don't even challenge it to a bit. Sometimes they do actually agree, but you can sense it when it's like, you probably know what I mean, or maybe not. If not, you'll figure it out. You just learn this stuff by conversing and being present and analyzing the conversations that you've had, the way you spoke, what was spoken about, all that stuff. It's cerebral. My advice is learn to say no, to disagree on points. Keeping it civil, of course. It's fun. It's fun to challenge ideas like that. This often comes up in conversation about the gym with me, because I know a lot of the gym stuff, but I don't know it all. So when people, I talk about people doing, they do a certain workout regime, I'm like, that's interesting, but I would rather do this. And they're like, really? Yeah, for sure. I've been doing this really good, and it's been working for me. And they'll go like, yeah, I don't know. It's for me, it didn't really work out that way. Blah blah blah. Right? So they disagree, and it's fun. It's ideas go back and forth, and that's how we learn. We can pick up this, and we can pick up that, and we can pick up this, and then we can create our bottom line, and that's what our ideas equal, and we can put that into action. And then we can boom, create a solid plan. Boom, success. You don't need to be too quick about disagreeing, though. they can state their point and about how they train, and you can go like, okay, yeah, and just let them talk. Let them, talk, listen, more than you actually speak. It's important to just shut up and listen. This is good for keeping conversation alive as well. It works with women, works with anyone, right? As I said, speak to these women, but like you would speak to anyone else, just different subjects, of course. But it works really well for keeping conversations not dying. So, someone talk about their gym routine. They'll talk about it, and I'll say, yeah, okay, yeah. All right. You really think that that's better? I don't know if I agree, man, because I've seen that the leg extension, when you do it, the way it contracts, just so much better. Yeah. And then they'll start again, and it just like boom, boom, boom. The conversation keeps going, and it's fun. But don't be disingenuous about it. That's the big point. That's the biggest point, because people, they will know. They will instantly know. If they're socially intelligent, they will know. So that's it. Just a quick conversational tip today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, take care, and God bless.